Hello and welcome to another week of the worst reselling podcast ever, and another week close to Blake grovelling back to us, Granny.
Well, yes, it's kind of like almost a bit disappointing that he hasn't been like trying to sneak in, hasn't it?
That's right. I'm surprised. That's right. Yeah, no, he has tried to crack into my Instagram a few times to get the StreamYard link, but
well, there you go.
We'll give you a couple of weeks to change your I suppose your I can't think of the word, Granny. Attitude. That's the one. I know. Geez, this is what happens when you go out of water for too long. You don't suck enough oxygen in, and you start losing your mind. But episode 40 this week. I'm surprised it actually lasted this long. Yeah, so
that's a big milestone, really, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. It's pretty good. We're a bit late recording today because we had the hurricane here earlier. So it would have been being me sitting here, cowering, being punched by an 8-year-old. So, it wasn't too bad. But how have you been, Leanne? I haven't seen you for a week.
Yes, I've been pretty good this week. It's been a little bit quiet on eBay, but quieter than I would like, I have to say. Saved by Depop a few times, I will also say. But yeah, pretty good. I did my first bit of first thrift that I went on for a while, so that was fun. Spent a whole $25.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, that's what's been selling for you though? Well, I've had a bit of everything.
Yeah, a bit of everything. I've been having a lot of vintage books sell, and clothing seems to be big at the moment. And I think it seems to me that the people are going in and starting to think about their colder weather wardrobes. So, I've been selling jumpers and some jackets and jeans and that sort of thing, which is good.
Oh, it's good. No, that's good. I've been moving on the video games, actually. I've been picking up quite a few of those lately, and they're selling quite quickly. So I promised everyone a video to come out on Sunday. This will be released on Tuesday. We're recording on Sunday. Regarding my aspirations of taking over Japan and how I'm going to get there. But I haven't done it yet. But I'm trying to, a little bit of background story. So I started with $10. I bought a Goosebumps box set brand new from School Fate. So I've turned that $10 into a plethora of different things that I can sell, which will contribute to the $25,000 that I need to take over Japan with.
Very good.
I'm in the process of trying to work out how to display that information that it's legible.
Yeah. It's hard, isn't it? Yeah, because I've been trying to work that out for my hearing aid challenge too. Like it's actually hard trying to work out how to present it in a way that makes it easy to see. Because I was having a bit of a laugh at Harry Tornado's little golf, the little lollyballs that he did in the big jar thing. But in a way, it's kind of does make it easier to see. Like it's otherwise it's hard, isn't it?
Well, that's right. Well, because this is what I'm rolling off at the moment, just a list of paper. I feel like the Commonwealth picker, and also like I've got a little flow chart. But what it is I've got. The way I've done it is basically I started with the $10 and moves to the Goosebumps. And that Goosebumps, because I've sold it for $40 on Facebook Marketplace. And that's the topic today. We're actually going to talk about alternative selling platforms. And I know we've talked about it before, but keep your knickers on. But that $40 branched off to two different $20 things. So what I want to try and do is kind of bring in like a bit of visualization of the tech and sports model, where he says that, basically send money out to get money to come back in. So I've got all these little branching pathways of where I bought something. Like, I bought a camera for $20 and sold it the next day for $176 after fees and postage and all these different things. So then that paid for a 3DS that I sold for $299 the other day. So, like I said, all these different things are branching off, but I've got no way of clearly showing like the branching lines to show what I mean, because I probably think I'm in the fourth iteration. Obviously the fourth line, and it's just gone batshit crazy. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's just gone bananas. So, like I said, I'm in the process of trying to work out how I can, articulate that in a diagram, because I'm more of a visual person and I like to show things. And and I think it'll be more beneficial for people watching, because I want to invite them to join in some capacity as well. If you start with $10, it's probably the perfect point. Then go from that. And the only thing that I have. I suppose what I have learnt from doing this little challenge is don't invest all your money into one product, because that will be a bottleneck.
Yep. Okay.
Is that what
that was what I was going to ask you, because I'm a bit curious what other people are doing when they're doing these sort of challenges as to are they actually keeping any of the money back and putting that as a saving, or are they just, turning it over when they find the right stuff?
So what I've done, right? So I started with that $10 cash, then Facebook Marketplace, then so we branched off. I'll start with the $20 branches, right? So that camera, I sold it quite quickly. So then I turned that. So I'm kind of cheating. I'm not waiting for eBay to pay that funds out. I'm kind of dipping in, but paying that money back. As long as the rules of the challenge, I suppose, from my perspective, and if you're playing at home, do your own rules, is that as long as I've got that money available in the kitty per se, eBay doesn't necessarily have to have it paid out. But I've still got access to that money, but I'm not retrospectively doing it. So, if I've sold something today, then picked up something 3 weeks ago, I was just say, hey, I'm just going to move that to the Japan trip now, and and I'll just off to that. It kind of defeats the purpose from my perspective. Yeah. But going back to your question, I've actually created a saving account within my bank account and just call it Japan trip or something along to that. So what will happen is I'll park the money there because it's gotten to the point now is that when eBay pays that money out, I'm cash positive in that respect, right? So I've got about $150 to play around with, and I've probably got like $1,000 worth of stock off $10 within the space of I think it's coming up to 4 weeks this week. So like I said, that how quickly you need if you find really high turnover things and price them right to sell and all those different things, they come quickly. They kind of turn over really quickly. But having said that, if I had to spend that $10 into one product, there's a good chance it could be still sitting there, right? Like you really got to be careful of that bottleneck, and that's why I split that that $40 Goosebumps sale price into two different items. So I bought a digital camera which sold straight away, and I also bought a kind of Dungeons and Dragons like 90s board game, maybe early 2000s board game. That's still sitting there. So that like I said, if I hadn't invested $40 into that board game, I'm stuck at that bottleneck because I haven't done it. So it's just
same old thing, isn't it? You've got to find when you've got particular like collectible items, you've got to find the right buyer for that item, and there may not be multiple people out there looking for it at the same time.
Well, and that's exactly right. So what it really comes down to is look at your sold history, right? So I know, I'm going to throw Gotta Sell Them All under the bus here. So watching his videos, he just puts up, listing comps, right? So you need to look at sold comps when you're doing these things. And I suppose, and Graham's going to chase me with a stick in this respect. If you find something on Facebook Marketplace that looks really, 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 promising from a resale point of view, reach out to them straight away, see if it's available, then do your research. Don't do the other way around. Don't do your research, then reach out, then realize it's too far gone because someone's already picked it up, or all these different things. And you can always just say, hey, look, sorry, I'll just have to give it a pass or something along the lines of that. So look at it from that perspective. So, but like I said, you really, especially those first 2 or 3 purchases, you really need to be careful that you're not investing your capital in, longer tail items because, 6 months, 12 months time. Like jeans, for example, like we were talking about last week or last time we spoke, is that, if you got a sell-through rate, like, I mentioned in your video, is that, 365-day sell rate, that'd be a really shitty challenge, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it? What? Yeah.
Oh, just do a weekly video. And I'm still stuck with the same pair of jeans. If you want my pair of jeans, please go on eBay. Here's a link.
That being said, because I picked up a heap of jeans when I did my little thrift, which is out of my hearing money, and I was able to do another bulk deal from the same place I got the original bulk deal from. And I've actually just been taking some of the photos of the jeans, and I've got a couple of pair of R.M. Williams in there. So, I mean, they're hot off the press, and some Gant, and there's some really good brands in there. A couple of brands I don't know, so they'll be interesting. But A brand and stuff. And some of it will, I know, should turn over fairly quickly and for a good $1, but then others, don't know. I mean, there's a pair of Rod and Gun in there, for example, but they look very short. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. So they've been hemmed by the looks of it. Yeah.
Well, I don't know whether they've been hemmed or whether they're just short for a short.
Yeah, okay. But I suppose with this challenge, I'm pretty much primarily, without giving too much away, I'm looking at video games and electronics, right? So I'm staying away from clothing. So unless I go to the thrift store and find a Mambo Loud shirt, or I find player issue gear like all the guys in Melbourne does, or I've previously found rugby league, rugby union player issue gear stuff, which sells instantaneous. The clothes are off the challenge. So, like I said, it's really, really, really quick sell through stuff, and it's case in point, right? Like, for me to go from $10 to $1,000 worth of stock and $200, just shy of $200 in the kitty left over in the space of less than a month. Like, it just goes to show you that don't have it tied up, because if I had bought something like that $40 board game, for example, or that jigsaw puzzle, 3,000 jigsaw puzzle, it'd be a very sad challenge.
The project. You mean the project?
Well, that's right. Yeah, well, that's
one
exactly
of the projects.
Right. So,
yes.
Yeah, no, it's we'll just have to see how we go, but it's progressing, and like I said, I'm in the process. Once I work it out, how to, I suppose, document it, because I've got all the screenshots and I've got all the different sold listings, just to keep the Aussie nurse flipper happy because he'll be scrutinising it. But I suppose the one thing that I did be mindful of, and I did trip up, and I don't know if you've done this yourself, Leanne, is that I started taking the cost of good prices out of the profits. So what I did was
right.
the camera, for example, I sold for $235, but I marked it down as $176 because I took the eBay listings the listing final value fees out plus the ad fee, but then I also took the $20 cost of good out of the product. So it should have been $197. So my numbers are already skewed, but I've learned the mistake. I'm just rolling with it.
I haven't yet. I've just been putting in, like, basically this is what I've spent, this is how much revenue I've made from it. And then these are my other expenses, as in post and fees and
that's right.
Doing it that way,
So I've taken, like I said, I've taken everything out of it. So like I said, and with the exception of tax and all that stuff, because that'll be covered by the octopus thing. So don't worry too much about that. Look, we're only looking primarily from this thing, right? But where I took the cost of goods out, which I shouldn't have, because I've already taken that $10, the initial investment out at the start.
Yes.
You really. There's no such thing as cost of goods, because it's all rolling from free money, I suppose, looking from that perspective. So just be, and like I said, I'm going to invite some people to join and participate. Like if you can always set up your own rules, but set up your own goals. This is a prime example of how quickly you can roll a little money over and go from there. So $10. It doesn't have to be hundreds of thousands of dollars. I probably would start at the $10 to $20 mark. I wouldn't go any higher than that.
And I also wouldn't go lower too, because you see the challenges where I'm going to start from $1 or start from $2. But in effect, unless you can actually pick up some banger item that is worth 20 or at least 20 or 30 profit, not sold 20 or 30 profit from that $1 or $2 coin, that's going to be pretty hard, isn't it?
No, well, that's exactly right. And I got super lucky with this Goosebumps box set, right? So it sold on eBay for $75. I had it listed on eBay for $75, but I would have made less than $40 after it sold with the postage and stuff like this, because this bundle was probably about 10 kilos. So it was, but I took it off and I put it on Facebook Marketplace and it sold 2 days. So that was pretty much $10 into $40, and that's what branched it off. But like you were saying, is that you don't necessarily want to be stupid and start a 20-cent challenge or start a free challenge. If you do get stuff for free, good, but it makes it more complicated, right? It sounds more impressive if it's $10 or something, a round number, or $5 or something like that, as long as you can roll that money into something else. So
and look,
pretty cool.
And I've probably I'm going to find this week interesting a little bit, because I did, because I was able to do another bulk deal and just pick up whatever I wanted. Another tattoo? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind a good tattoo. So some suggestions would be welcome. But look, I did pick up some things like some vintage salt and pepper, wooden hue and pine salt and pepper shakers, from Tasmania, and stuff. And they're a bit out of my normal wheelhouse, but I thought, well, look, I was able to get them and chuck them in the bag for basically no money. So I did. But some of those sort of things might be still sitting there in 12 months' time.
Yeah, and lucky cutlery. Probably wouldn't start a challenge off with cutlery. How's that?
If it was sterling silver.
I wouldn't even know what to look for, right? Like those, and going back to those I think I showed you a couple of weeks ago those Warhammer miniatures and all those different things.
Yeah.
That I was going to reach out to the 1 foot flipper and ask him about them, all those different things. I've just put them back on Facebook Marketplace. Like, I've marked them up $100 more than I paid for. Because not even my beloved Google Lenses helped me with those things, because they're all metal. These are from like the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah. Like, I'm talking about 84 to 92.
And also when they're that same colour, that like the pewtery sort of colour.
Yeah.
The details get lost, and that's where it's a little bit hard. But look, I found 2 of these in that cutlery lot. Well, these are Ansett. Were they Ansett AWA?
No, I thought they were going to be forks. I got a whole drawer for them.
And I have sold stuff like this before, so I know they will go all right. I just haven't gotten around to listing them yet. And the other thing I did find, which I don't know where I put it, but I did find 1 sterling silver spoon in that bag of cutlery. So that spoon in itself is worth quite a bit of money, but a reasonable amount of money just by the weight of the silver, because it is actually solid silver. So.
Okay, so what you're saying is that you've got something worth a bit of money, but you forgot where you put it. So good job.
Well, yeah. I don't know whether I put it back in the bag with the rest of the cutlery or put it in the drawer. And I've got stuff in front of the...
to you?
I know, stuff in front of the drawer, so I can't open it right now. But yeah,
that's right. Yeah, no, what's good, like
But the thing is, though, that means that I didn't lose money. Like, well, not that it really cost me anything, but like I will make money out of that cutlery, even if I throw the rest out.
What did you start with? $5? Was it $5 the bag? I can't remember.
Basically, they charged me $5 for my whole trolley full that I got that day. Included a heap of clothing and the bag of cutlery, so maybe $2.
That's all right. Well, there you go. You're not going to make any. You're not going to lose it.
No.
Just when someone comes in, just set up your booby traps like Home Alone, and use your cutlery to do that.
I might be able to use it to make things to hang on the trees. To get rid of the birds.
No, that's right. Yeah, well, that's right. Little sparkly things. And last week was Easter, and I didn't mention, but we Mr. Easter Bunny and myself, we organised a Easter egg hunt out the back, and I had birds stealing the eggs.
Oh no! Really?
Yes. So we lost 3 eggs before the official start of the Easter egg hunt.
Oh, Christ!
So I might need to borrow some of your cutlery as well. Maybe you could just outsource it, like rent a cutlery. Yeah, just there you go. Yeah. But I suppose I've always been
Granny's bird scarer cutlery.
Well, that's right. That's exactly right. Speaking of bird scaring, how's Facebook Marketplace been down that way for you? I always enjoy our messages.
Yeah, look, Facebook Marketplace is just like, I can buy a house at the moment. I think, what else was there? There's a scarifier. If anyone doesn't know what that is, try Googling it. It's a piece of farming machinery. And what else did I find interesting? Oh, there's boats at the moment. Because it's the end of summer, I think there's some people that have decided they're not using their boats. So there are some ski boats and some fishing tinnies that you can get.
Is there any water other than dams near you?
Well, probably not much at the moment, but we are going into winter, so there may be some, lake will fill up a bit more. Yeah,
we have to go Farmer Joe's little circular dam that he feeds the cows out of with our new jet ski.
Yeah.
No, it's been pretty good here on Facebook Marketplace. I think I was bitching a couple of weeks ago that Facebook Marketplace has been quite dead, but I think now that the colder weather's drawing in, and what I'm finding, it's almost like the opposite to America, right? Like, they always say that they have to wait for it to warm up to the garage sale season, stuff like this. I'm finding here in Marketplace, when it cools down, people are stuck in their houses more, and they're going through, doing the clear out and all these different things. So I'm finding that it's been more plentiful from a Facebook Marketplace, and I'm actually going out tonight to pick up some Goosebumps books before I appear on Uncle Wayno's live. I've been roped into that. Thanks, Uncle Wayno.
Oh, very good. Very good.
That's right.
Well, good. It'll be good to see Uncle Wayno. I think I've forgotten what he looks like, actually.
Well, that's right. You'll have to. I'll have to see what if he's probably going to shave his head and looks like I don't know.
You're going to do that live on the show?
Yes. Ooh. Yeah, I might, hopefully. Well, he has done crazy things in the past where he shaved his beard live, so that'll be quite good.
And but
well, he has too. That's right. I forgot about that. So I'm actually putting down the bottom the Goosebumps books that you need to look out for. So these are the ones that you, I suppose, the ones that I'm aware of that bring in, decent money. So I'm not talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars like the Railroad Reseller, because I'm not getting on his bad side. Commonwealth Pick has already been taken care of because of him. But realistically, that Monster Blood 4 and I think I Live in Your Basement are the rarer ones. So that Monster Blood 4 is in this bundle that I'm picking up tonight. So I'm picking up 15 books for $10.
That makes me sick.
and that Monster Blood 4's in there and goes for $35. So what I'll do is I'll just bundle it up, bundle the rest of the crap up for $30 and sell that one for $35. So, and they'll go in the Japan fund.
Yep. So I think the trick with in my experience anyway, from what I've researched on Goosebumps, the trick is to, if you can't find those rare ones, then do some bundles. But the thing being, if you can get the full set of the originals, they will go for big money. And that's I'm currently working on trying to get the full set of the originals. And then other than that, if you can get, there are some other sets that come as box sets, more modern ones, and they generally do sell okay as long as the condition's good and there's no books missing. Be careful if you do buy book sets in the box sets of those thinner little books like Goosebumps off Facebook Marketplace, because it did happen to me when I first started doing it. Like, they looked like they were full, and I got my daughter to pick them up in Mildura, and she didn't know to check, but there was books missing. There was one book missing out of the set. Well, that buggers it up until you can get the original, get another to go in it. So but
they're always rare to find those box sets complete. Like I said, the one that I sold, I think, was the 30 book box set.
Yep.
Like, it was brand new and sealed. And, that's why I sold it. But I prefer sticking with the original ones because that's what the ones I used to read when I was a little octopus. But these are all, I suppose, the first edition in the sense that they're the vintage ones.
Yes.
The condition, the ones that I rolled past on the screen just a couple of seconds ago, and give me 2 seconds and I'll put it back up here now. If they're in fair condition, like Monster Blood 4, the last one that sold on Australian eBay for $35 was literally falling apart at the seams, right? Yeah. So as long as the spine's intact in the sense that it's keeping the pages in the book, a collector will buy it because they're rare and they will want that in their collection, and they'll upgrade it later, right? So once they find a nicer copy of that, they will obviously buy that copy as well. But so,
and they're after that cover art. Like, most of the time, what they're after is that cover art, because it is unique, and what we have here is it is unique. So
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. And I do like the cover art. And this is a bit of, you may know this being a bookseller, Granny, but Stephen King. R.L. Stein used to write the stories after he made the title.
Yes.
So he actually used to think up he used to think up the title, then he'd write the story around the book. So, it's good. It's good. And I suppose...
R.L. Stein also, for people that are doing books, he has written other books in the Scholastic range, which are the most prolific being the point thrillers, and they do quite well too, his in particular. Okay. There are other authors that are in that collection, but his do quite well.
I was always convinced when I was a kid that R.L. Stein was like Stephen King undercover. I never seen any pictures of him, because back then, we didn't, I suppose you couldn't go on the internet and, find out what R.L. Stein looked like. And, I was just convinced that it was Stephen King just, writing kids' novels, because he does, he uses different pseudonyms and stuff along to that. So, well,
I did pick up some Stephen King books in my little bundle the other day that I got for $25. And someone did see the back of one of them. I've got Christine with the original car on the front. And they did make the comment that they thought he looked like a serial killer on the back. I suppose you might have to look a little bit like that when you write those sort of books. But
I was going to say, I think I've got that book as well. I got I picked it up from Vinnie's the other day for $2, and I didn't mention it in the in Christian's. Well, I did put it in the uncut version of Christian's video that I did. So a bit of a spoiler alert if you haven't watched the most unliked reseller in Australia. It was Christian. Christian. That's why I can't do 2 things at once. I'm just trying to...
No, I know, because you get too distracted. Your brain doesn't...
Yeah, my brain doesn't work the best of times.
It gets tied up in knots, I think. That's what it does.
Yeah, so I'm just bringing up Leanne's new boyfriend, but give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. Is this the one you've got?
Oh, yes, that's it. That is it. Yeah, that is the one.
So that's the book that I picked up for $2. So it's acceptable. And like I said before, I normally, yeah, this book's quite good condition, right? It's got a little bit of foxing around it. That's why I've made it acceptable. But yeah, so like some people I've seen advertise, this quality of book, all right, probably for very good or like new. So, but yeah, I always mark it down. I think we should be arrested on.
It's a bit of a constant problem for me when I see how other people grade their books, honestly, because, I mean, I think a lot of people seem to think that if it's it can be good vintage. Well, good vintage doesn't mean it's good. Sorry.
No, because what I normally, I've lost the screen now, so you can all suffer. I'm not going back. But what I normally do with my my listings, and I can't help myself, I'm just going to do it just to piss off Leanne, is that so what I normally do is acceptable condition with foxing and age-related conditions as per photos. If it's in really good condition, I will basically say something along the lines, acceptable condition or very good condition for its age. There is age-related damage. However, especially if it's something from the early 80s, right? And it looks in that. Well, that was, I think, you might know better than me, Leanne. I think it's late 70s or 80s book. That one,
yes.
Like for the condition of it, it's acceptable by these standards. Today, if you bought it from a bookshop now, it'd be acceptable, right? But for that age of that book, it's probably it's in very good nick. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, it is. But as far as book grading goes, it's not.
Well, that's right.
Good because it doesn't fit all the criteria. People should actually try reading what it says on eBay as to what each of the good, acceptable, very good means.
That's right. I used to get tripped up when I used to list Funko Pops. When I first started into Funko Pops, right, I used to put grading down. I'd made it. Looks like an 8 out of 10 because that's what people used to do on Facebook, right? The box is 8.5 out of 10. But they're talking from a professional grading perspective. I could have opened myself up for an INAD because they're like, oh, hey, this is not a 9 or this is not a 10 or this is not a 7.5 out of 10 because it's all subjective, right? Unless you had a professional grader tell you, hey, this is a 9 out of 10 or whatever it is. Yeah. Just be very careful of those grading books or grading.
And speaking of Funko Pops, Octo, what did you think of the listing that I sent you through earlier?
Oh, yeah, I did see that, yes.
Yeah, so there is a listing currently up on eBay for 6 empty Funko boxes, and they're the Harry Potter ones, and they are creased and bent, and it's going up for auction for 6 empty Funko. I'm speechless. Really?
Yeah, so I'll give you a bit of a background with that because I've worked out what they're doing. This particular seller in that particular stance, this seller has no idea what they're doing, right? But
absolutely,
if you're going to a convention, like just say if I'm going to go see Grumpy Granny in the flesh and she has her own Funko Pop, instead of me actually bringing the little Funko Pop out, and basically giving you the Funko Pop, to sign on the window, a lot of the collectors slide the figure out and they flatten the boxes, so it's easy to travel with, and they're not going to be bent, right? So the likelihood of, that it's easy for you to sign all those different things. But this particular seller selling them as empty boxes without, realistically, I can understand if it's for your own collection, like, you're going to meet Boba Fett or you're going to meet, George Lucas or something like that. You'd flatten them down, get them to write on it, then you put your Funko Pop in for your own collection. But
absolutely.
But no idea what's going on
here. I must admit that one did stun me a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't know, but I think a lot of those kind of online stores, and like what I was speaking about a bit earlier about the thing that I left out of Kristen's video. So, bit of a background story. The initial cut was 43 minutes, and I like to keep the reaction videos around the 20-minute mark on the lesser side of 20 minutes if I can. I think I scraped away with 21 minutes on the video, but I did make reference to a Squishmallow when I was at Vinny's the other day, and it just infuriated me. So I put it in our group chat, but what it was a Squishmallow squid or an octopus, and I picked it up just by virtue of because a bit of an affinity with octopuses. So picked it up. This thing was dirty. It had no tags on Squishmallows. If you're collecting, it's like Funko Pops, right? You need the tag. Unless it's uber rare and it's like one of the first ones to come out. They need a tag on it to be any worth for it.
Yeah.
So no tag, filthy, probably just little kids probably grabbing it and picking it up and stuff. $35 they wanted for it.
Wow.
And
that's unreal.
And I was saying to Mrs. Octopus, normally when I do my rounds, I'll go to a Salvo's on the way, and that I normally pick up little squishmallows for the kids, and $2 or $3 brand new, like with a tag, and they're really good condition. And one for this size, because it's only a medium size one, it wasn't a massive one. They've probably been $5 with a tag at the Salvos that I normally go to, and Vinny's trying to flop it off for for $35. Like, I kind of think to myself, what are you doing? Like, What charity are you trying to support?
Yeah. Look, and I will say that same charity that has the Funko boxes up, it does currently have it's a Care Bear cousin, which apparently they are the more valuable ones. It's a bunny rabbit, which would be good if it was in half decent condition or if someone had bothered to try and clean it up. However, this poor thing, honestly, I'll be interested to see how much it does eventually sell for, because it looks like it has been run over by a car and then backed over.
Do you reckon that's what they've done? They've just got a bit of roadkill and stamped a little thing on its chest?
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, no, it's very sad looking, You get on there and you have a look at some of the, and some of the, I guess I find it a bit, interesting that they don't seem to clean their stuff.
Yeah,
and it does happen a lot with a lot of books, and not just them on eBay, but a lot of sellers on eBay. They'll take photos of things and they'll say, "Oh, needs a bit of cleaning." Look, I mean, there's a doll listed at the moment that I found the other day, and it's got needs a bit of cleaning. Yeah, well, why didn't you clean it before you listed it on eBay?
Yeah, and I kind of think to myself is that that you need to. And I think I've said numerous times before, Granny, like even on the podcast, I know I've said it numerous times in the reaction videos, is that spend an extra 20 seconds cleaning it. I picked up and this is something that I don't recommend, and I'm just going to borrow Minion Jay's hands here for a second, so apologies in advance. So I picked up a DS last night from locally. This thing was filthy.
That's looking a little worse than there.
Well, actually, I pulled it apart. I don't know how to put it back together now.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so, as in the theme of doing everything like the opposite of what the octopus does, is that I'm actually, I've pulled this thing apart. I'm actually going to try and, well, the thing is, it's filthy, right? So anyone that deals with DS Lites, the Nintendo DS Lite, there's a lot of crud that gets caught in like the sections you can't get out with. It's to the point where this console needs a new case, right? So I'm just going to add an extra project to my list of things to do. I'm actually going to order some casing in from AliExpress and give it a nice Pokemon case or a nice Dragon Ball Z case or something like that. And just using my testing console. I picked it up as part of the Japanese challenge, right? So the game, the bundle was $50 with a whole bunch of games. So there's a Princess Peach game in there, goes for about $80 to $90, $100 by itself. So that will offset the bundle. Obviously push money back into the Japan challenge. Won't be as profitable as I originally thought, because I could have sold the DS for about $60, $70 with the games, like the crap games. But since I've stripped it apart and
before you pull it to pieces,
well, the thing is though that and this is going back to what we were saying with cleaning it. Like if I, to me, and this is this should be high on every reseller's list or every YouTuber's list, right? eBay's list. Is that you've got a reputation to uphold, right? So especially if you're trying to build a name for yourself, we try and build a reputation. And before we went live, I was scrolling through Facebook, and there's someone in the eBay Facebook group in America. They made mention that like they're a 65-year-old reseller that just started, and like it was like, I'll reword it. So, question 3: I'm a 65-year-old reseller. I need a following to be successful. And I was like, well, for starters, that's not a question. That's more of a statement, you clown.
Yes.
Go back to school. But like then people are going, well, you don't need a following, and you don't need a following, right? But if you are trying to build yourself an image and all these different things, because there is no way I would have sold this DS console in its current state, right? Like I was up, for 3 hours last night cleaning the bloody thing. Got to the point where I was like, I'm just going to strip it apart, see how this thing ticks. Because worst case scenario is, it won't go back together. But I'll, like I said, I'll just jump on AliExpress. I'm just going to do it for my own sake.
Yes, I mean this is another example, right? So this is Strawberry Shortcake doll, and I've just listed her today. But I mean, look, she probably wasn't too bad. to look at. But if you look closely up at her, she did look a little, just a bit grimy. So all I did, because she's not dirty, get a wet wipe and just give her a wash over her face and her arms and her legs. She's got a soft body, so her you don't have to worry about that. I mean, you've got to show what that looks like, but she does have a cloth body, so you're not going to clean that as such. But, it doesn't take much just to the difference in how nicely she came up in the photos is huge. But I wouldn't want to sell something that wasn't any less than the best I could do it.
That's right. That's right, and I think I've mentioned before. As I bought a Pusheen cat, it was a decent sized Pusheen cat. It was probably that big, and I found sold comps on eBay that went for $300 or something because it must have been a rare variant or the size of it, and it looked like some kid with spaghetti face or something like this went on all over the back of it because it was all crusty and all crap caked into its fur kind of thing. So I brought it was $5 from Salvo's. I brought it home. Got the Wonder soap out, the Sards Wonder soap, scrubbed it. Put it on the clothes rack to dry and all these different things. Came out brand new. Looks like it's brand new. So he's currently listed for $200. So these are the things like I said that I wouldn't, and I have seen it before, right? I'm not going to lie that I have seen other YouTubers and other resellers, I suppose, that are prominent in the space that don't clean their items or they like I said, it's a representation of you. People are buying things because they want to support you, or they want to that item for themselves. At least have the decency to clean the bloody thing.
And it is a bit sad that people can't take that little bit of time to do it. My theory is if there's a particular category that you're selling and you can't be bothered cleaning it, don't sell that category. And what's one of the worst things is cups and glasses and stuff like that, that people
coffee stones.
Just for heaven's sakes, wash it. It won't break.
I suppose, and to my main category now, I moved into video games again because I can't get enough of that sweet video games. But I used to subscribe to the fact is that if it's less than $10, I would leave the stickers on and the pricing and the pre-owned stickers and all those different things. I just don't sell them anymore. Unless it's a $20 or $30 game, or I'll put them in a bundle. So for example, I get a lot of DS crap, shovelware, because that's what I get with my system. So I normally just bundle them up and put them in the lot. But don't. I see it numerous times that you see $70 or $80. Even that Princess Peach game that I was saying, I listed earlier, that other people have still got the $39.94 sticker from EB Games, or traded in now kind of thing. If you're charging $100 for a video game, at least clean it up to make it look presentable. Because if you're going through and you've got $100 to spend on a video game, are you going to buy the one that looks ratty and has stickers all over it? Are you going to buy the one that's pristine because the person spent an extra 20 seconds just you're cleaning it up? So.
I mean, and the only time that I will leave a sticker on any of the books is if it's you might have a really good vintage pan with fantastic artwork that's collectible, and you have got the original price sticker on the back, which is $2.99 or something, or maybe even going back even further, and it's in pounds, shillings, and pence. Wouldn't be pounds, but shillings and pence. Those are sort of ones you can leave on, but because it helps date the book. But other than that,
Yeah, and I suppose the other, further to the only caveat would be is that if you're removing that sticker or that item's going to damage the product, right? So if it's like books, for example, prime example, if you've got a book sticker on the front and you peel that off, it's going to start ripping the artwork or start doing all those different things. The best course of action you should do first for a sticker, don't get the orange power out because just like what I found out the other day, you'll start stripping the color off.
It does.
Get a hairdryer out, especially if it's a recent sticker, it'll actually start melting the glue. Be very gentle with it and it'll come straight off. If it's a recent sticker. If it's been stuck there for 40 years, it's stuck there for another 40 years. Just leave it there.
Because there are little tools. I'm just trying to find mine if I can see. Here it is. But, you can get little tools like this. Is brilliant, this thing. Takes stickers off amazingly well. And if I ever, if there are the odd ones I have a little bit of trouble with, just heat them up with the hairdryer and that they take,
because
it takes it right off. So
well, that's right. But if you're selling a $500 book, right, and it's got a sticker on there, and there's a good chance that this sticker's going to damage it if you don't do it properly. Is that I would leave it on there, sell it maybe $50 less than everyone else. Depending on what the market's like, then Leanne, being a book collector that loves her books and all these different things, she'll know how to remove that sticker. So she'll spend the time and the days and whatever it takes to remove that sticker for that book for a collection. Don't go ruining your product to do that.
It's a bit like, and the same with the ex-library books. I don't remove any of the ex-library stickers and stuff like that off books, because some people actually like them and they like the story, which library it came from, and that sort of thing. And sometimes you're lucky enough it's got the card in the back. It shows how many times it's been borrowed at the library. They like that. The other thing is some collectors will buy them because most library books you get, especially a hardcover, will be a first edition. So they have that advantage because they will get the books before other people do, because they get advance notice that the books are coming out. So a collector can start their collection with an ex-library copy, which is in effect a good copy, but it's got the library sticker and stuff. And then, when they get around to it or find another better copy, then they'll be able to upgrade. So
that's what we were talking about earlier. That's what we were talking about earlier with the Goosebumps. That people will just buy it because out of necessity, or the collection, because it mightn't be cost effective for them to go out and buy $600 for a book where they could just buy a library book for $100. And especially if you're only displaying the spine, people aren't going to see. They aren't going to see what the stickers on the back are and all these different things. So, like I said,
and also given that with an ex-library book, most of the time they've got that protective, clear protective covering, and that protects the dust jacket beautifully. So it looks fantastic in your bookcase there, when you.
Yeah, that's right. I actually went to that Lifeline fair when I went to Canberra probably a couple of months ago now. I picked up a Walking Dead compendium. I don't know, whatever 50 comics in one book, whatever it was. I paid $10 for it. I had me that plastic protector. It wasn't like a laminate. There was actually like a protected sleeve that went in the book, went into it, like what you would see in the library kind of thing. And it went on to sell with $75. I would have thought that this, I didn't want to take the protector off in case I damaged the book, but I would have thought it would have been sitting around for a while, but it was only like a couple of weeks before it flicked off for $75. So like I said, that even going back to what the Goosebumps book was, if they are in fair condition, they're acceptable condition, there's still a market for them, because someone is looking for those different things. So just keep an eye out. But I suppose
before we do go on, and talking of the Goosebumps books, just one little bolo to keep an eye out for are some books that are very similar looking to Goosebumps books, but they're called Bone Chillers. And there is another set also called Graveyard School, or School Graveyard. No, Graveyard School it must be. They're very similar looking to the Goosebumps books, but they'll put out by different. Both of them are from different publishers, right? Now, some of those, again, they're a bit like the Goosebumps. Some do better than others, but some of them do have big value, and some of them do very well being sent to the UK. And I couldn't work out why, because they do have those books over there. But as it turns out, if you actually have a look at the covers in the UK, they're very insipid and very not scary, whereas the ones we had here were quite scary, like the Goosebumps ones, and people over there actually like our covers better than their covers. So, they're good.
There you go. Number 16 is the one to look out for, apparently, the Queen of the Gargoyles.
That's it.
So they look like they sell better than Goosebumps, because the lot that I'm picking out, what did I say, 14 books, I'll probably list them for maybe $35 with free postage, but this is 9 books for $75. I've never actually seen Bone Chillers before. Are they?
I have actually sold. The best one I've sold. I sold one for about 120.
Yeah, okay.
To the UK.
Betsy Haynes, okay.
Yes.
But I think like you're saying, that the UK, I'm probably going to get attacked by the UK nurse flipper, is that I think they had a lot of stricter censoring back in the 90s, because like my beloved Ninja Turtles over there, it's called the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, which I didn't find out until a couple of years ago. Like, it actually floored me, because imagine trying to see that Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. I
just assumed it was something wrong with you until you told me that. Yeah,
that's right. That's exactly right. So and that kind of lines up with what you're saying with the Bone Chiller books. But I've never come across them before, but I'll definitely be keeping my eye out for them. But one that I did share within our group chat the other day is the Adventure Time book called The Land of Oob. if you're a bit of an Adventure Time fan, you'll know Oob is the Earth. That's basically what they call Earth on that book in the cartoon series. It's a coffee table book. I'm not too sure how big it is. It goes for about $500 or $600. So keep talking, Granny, and I'll bring up the listing for it.
I need to find me one of those. I do. I have picked up a couple of Adventure Time things, but they've only been quite small. The little things which I've actually put aside to go in a bundle or a variation listings. I've been listing a lot of my books lately in variation listings rather than in bundles, and that seems to be working a treat because inevitably if you do a bundle, you'll get someone contact you and say, I only want book number 2 and book number 3. Can I have those out of that bundle? And, you can either go to all the effort of doing that or not, which I not, because it's too much work and then you have to redo the whole thing and then you have to redo the original listing as well. So I thought I'd give the variation listings a crack, and they didn't seem to do much for a couple of weeks, but now I'm selling multiple books out of them. And the other day I sold a bundle of 3. Someone bought 3 of Kerry Greenwood, who does the Miss Fisher's murder mysteries, and they went within 24 hours. So, yeah, good.
I retract my previous statement. I'm a bit of a boob. It's ooh, not oob. So ooh. So here we go. This is what you need to look out for. So it's called the Adventure Time Art of Ooh, and it goes for about $556.
Wow.
There is a plethora of. I can't really wait to say. I'll bring up the book, but
okay.
The only reason why I came across this for is
Okay. I think I might have that book lying around here somewhere.
It's not that one, so don't get too excited.
No, but that was one of those ones that you just showed there that went for 100 something. I think I've got some of those around here somewhere.
Yeah, so I would pick this
one.
up. Yeah, so I would pick this up in a heartbeat because I love Adventure Time. Because if I seen it at the shops, but like I said, I wouldn't have been aware of this. It was just by virtue that someone put it on Facebook Marketplace, and I was laughing. It was like $500 for that. Good luck.
Yeah.
Then I googled it. Like I said, I don't know how common it is on the outside. Like, if you're going to go into a thrift shop and pick it up, I'm not too sure. I don't know how old it is either because I can't really find any dates that are coming up on the books. But yeah, so it does come with a dust cover jacket because the one that I found on Facebook Marketplace the other day said they had a little minor damage to the face of the dust jacket. So definitely keep an eye out for that one. And that I can guarantee you, I can guarantee you that no one from the op shops watches us, so you don't have to worry about them, finding it out. But I would envision they'd probably look at maybe $2 or $3 for that book. You'd probably find it on the shelf, just like all those different things. And like I said, I'd pick it up just by virtue of I love Adventure Time.
And it is. I often find those bigger picture books and the coffee table books, like the bigger books. They're the books they sell cheaper at the op shops because they find they take up a lot of room. And they sit a lot longer, so they do tend to price them a bit cheaper than a novel. So
and if I went to my beloved, my thrift shop that I go to on a Saturday, that'd be 20 cents because it would be classed as a kid's book. Yeah, imagine picking that for 20 cents. Like,
I know. Wow.
Feel like living in the States with their yard sales, 25 cents for everything. But like I said, that look out for that one. But I suppose we better get to the topic. We're almost running out of time. We're a bit worried that we didn't have a topic this one.
12 minutes left. Okay.
Well, that's right. But we did the I did the reaction video on the most disliked Australian reseller, and I did have a lot of suggestions of who it may have been.
Poor Christian.
I was about to say there is
clickbait.
There's a few people that reached out to me thinking that supply me with names, and I won't say them because I don't want to cause another war.
No, don't.
No, but and it's not who you're thinking of.
No.
Well, probably a lot of people. Probably,
whoever you were thinking of, it's not okay.
No, that's right. That's exactly right. Like I said, I don't. And I've said to people before, and I've said to Granny before, you have to do a lot to piss me off. And there's no one in the reselling space that has pissed me off. Like, we have disagreements with people, and we've had fallouts, which is unfortunate because, like I said, it's just, I suppose from my sense is that it's just discussion points, and obviously people don't really align with those discussions, and so be it. But that's enough on that point, right? Like I said, I haven't purposely trying to pick fights with anyone, but I did have some people like coming back and saying the same person over and over and over again, and they probably reside around where the eBay retail fest is. Just give you a hint of who that might be. But no, like it was a bit of a red herring. But when I told people that no, it's not who that is, and they keep like for every person I corrected it, I didn't tell them who it was. But every person I corrected, like 6 more came back saying, "Oh, is it this person?" It's not. So the basis of these reaction videos, I'm going to do it to small channels. Just to like bring awareness to some channels, right? So people, have, because YouTube does a really bad job of promoting the smaller channels, right? Like there was a couple of channels that, got to sell them all. The one that I did a couple of weeks ago was, I spent half a day trying to find his bloody channel. Like I tried every bloody combination. So these are the things I want to bring attention to. And Christian's, like I said in the video as well, he's fantastic. He's probably the most liked reseller in Australia. So that's why I played on that. I'm going to have some flack back.
Lovely guy.
I'm going to have some flack back from the video. I can see it now.
Talking of YouTube, guess what?
What?
It's my YouTube channel birthday. No, it's my YouTube channel birthday today.
Oh, well, congratulations. I thought you were going to say you hit 1,000 subscribers legitimately.
Well, I have, yes. But,
I think
930 something or other of those have come in the last 12 months. So I didn't have very many before that. So
I worked out my statistics. I've legitimately crossed 1,000 subscribers now. So the ones that we legitimately paid for, not through call centers and bots through a third world country. We did go through the YouTube platform, and those people that are. I suppose, when I've had conversation with the railroad reseller, because I'm a big fan, railroad reseller, I can't even say his name, and Roman anytime, and Roman, the anytime picker as well, is that, my suggestion, for people that are in the YouTube space, this is only my perspective, and I think Grumpy Granny is the same as well. As soon as you hit the 4,000 watch hours, just pay the $50 just to get the subs, because you become monetized, right? Like it just makes it a lot easier from that perspective, and you start generating income. I know Roman's well and truly, because I think he's about 40 subscribers to go before he hits 1,000. But Chris, once he gets to the 4,000 hours, you're better off just paying that little bit of extra to get the promoting the subscribers from that perspective. You will find, I think, from my perspective, is that, from a YouTube perspective, you are looking to get in that space. You're probably about the 1 in 10 or 2 out of 10. If you've got 1,000 subscribers, you're probably going to get like 100 to 200 views on your videos, depending on, how you get those subscribers. Because, like I've got a lot of subscribers from shorts, and traditionally those people that watch shorts don't watch long form content. So you're not going to drag those people across. So I think, from my perspective,
you're not going to get those continuing watch hours from them, are you?
Well, that's right. So I suppose from my perspective, if you're hitting 10 to 20% of your subscriber count in views, you're doing pretty well. That's from my perspective anyway. And I've done that across the board as well to, a lot bigger YouTube channels. Like, if they've got 100,000, 30,000, 40,000, their views are like, around that 4,000, 5,000 mark. So they are, around that 10% of viewership. So like I said, that, it will be a slog at the start. I think that's partly why Christian, turns YouTube off all the time, all these different things. And I made a couple of swipes at him in the video. Is that he's promising he's releasing more videos, and he does it all the time. Then he gets my hopes up. Then he goes, "Oh, I'm not doing one now. I can't be bothered." So I'm hoping if we bring attention to channels with a smaller sub count, like under 1,000, Mrs. Octopus. So if we bring attention to those smaller channels, that once they get past their awkwardness, like, and their killer eyes, the freaky eyes that look at this at the screen and all these different things, please, in your thumbnails, don't do creepy eyes. Like, creepy eyes is no one's friends. That's right. That's exactly right. So keep creepy eyes off.
I think the thing is, though, like, because when I went into it, and I mean, I certainly never ever thought that I'd get to the point where I'd be monetized. And it was only when we sort of were nearly at the end before I thought, well, crikey, I won't swear, this is going to happen. Like, I am going to actually be able to get monetized. But I think you need to go into it and say, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to have some fun, do it, be relaxed, put some content out. It'll just grow organically. And, I mean, if you're going to really want to push it because you want to make a money-making thing out of it, the content's not going to be as good, and you're just going to be pumping stuff out for the sake of pumping stuff out. And I don't know that that's the right way to go in this space, I mean, I look at my channel is that it's going to be like, we often talk about it, evergreen. Like, so a lot of my content, people can come back and watch in 2 years, 5 years, whatever. So it's not that I want it to make heaps of money now, but over time, that'll be great passive income. It'll just keep.
That's right. Yeah, and realistically, you're going to piss your audience off, right? Like, if you start pumping out some quality stuff, and that's why Grumpy Granny and I started the way we did, because we scraped the bottom of the barrel and we're still here now. So we haven't overpromised and undelivered by any capacity. So like doing all these reaction videos. For Christian and got to sell them all. I can't remember his name. So obviously very important in the grand scheme of things. Hopefully he's not listening at the 55. I was going to say hopefully he's not listening at the 55-minute and 13-second mark. But the thing is, their editing's top notch. They're fantastic. I don't even know how to do I spent me 3 hours today in the video trying to put a little clip of bananas and pajamas in there.
We know this.
And like Christian's got all these sound effects.
Few editing classes, I think.
Yeah, well, that's right. Christian's got some, flying graphics in there and some sound effects, and even like whenever he swears, he it beeps it out and all these different things, and so maybe just to reverse engineer it a little bit, just learn how to edit first. But
and don't over edit. I think the other thing is too, I like Christian's stuff because he doesn't overdo the editing. Like, it's still relaxed and comfortable, and it shows some of his stuff, but he's not. There's good editing in there, but it's not over edited. Whereas I look at some of my earlier stuff, I think I edited it to,
And I always freak out, right? Like whenever I use editing software, I've got that little bar that goes across to say that's the video. Then I slice it up into sections and cut it out. Then if I'm going to put like a little graphic or something on the top, I'll just put a little, little graphics. So it's 99.9% of the time it's just one big line. I just chop it up and do all these different things. And you off occasion do all these. Then I see people like the Aussie Flippery. He's got his graphics. So he's got like 16 different lines with all these different stuffs going on. And I'm like, what?
And I have to say, I much prefer the way I do mine now. Like, I mean, they get me warts and all, and it's all, I do mine pretty much all in one take, and that's it. You get what happens in that take. Occasionally I've had to start the take again because I've really stuffed up, but generally speaking, I don't, and you just get it as it is, and that's how it is, and easy.
Well, that's exactly right. And I tried to do that last week with that video that I released last week, returning 9 to 5. I didn't realize I didn't stop it halfway through, and I released the wrong version to the members, where I just sat there for 2 minutes and took a drink of because I normally generally if it's an edit cut, right? If it's a members cut, we just put it straight up, warts and all, and we just slice that little bit out the front. But what I did on this one was I meant to delete that bit in the middle where I'm just going, I'm sick of sick of doing all these takes. So I'm just gonna have a drink. So then so to City Flips, Shane reached out to me and said, "Oh yeah, I must have been a thirsty octopus because I sat there 15 minutes drinking a can of Coke." So I took that one down because it's almost like a piss take. Here's your special members video. Watch me drink a can of Coke.
Yeah, just watch me see
I'll go on OnlyFans for next time I do that.
So good on you. Now you made me thirsty.
But like I said, that I think it's a case of just recap what we're talking about today because we didn't talk about the subject at all. But just make sure you clean your stuff. If you're
a little bit. We mentioned we were going to talk about it. That's
right. And we did talk about Facebook Marketplace a little bit. But I suppose that, if you are looking at going to YouTube, and I think it's a fantastic opportunity, especially if you want to document your journey. Cindy's doing it. I don't know if she's still doing it. I watched the video the other day.
Yeah, she has been doing it. Well, I haven't seen one for a little while, but
just I think maybe if you're first starting to do YouTube, probably commit once a fortnight, even if it's like a really rough walking around the offshore one. Just get it out, get some consistency out because, and what I said in Christian's video is that he talks up. He's like, I'm going to do a pretty decent video next month, but he won't. He'll release it and go, I can't be stuffed and cancel it out. But that's why I'm trying to bring some subscribers across to him to say, hey, look, people are enjoying your content. Pull your finger out and do your content. So just punch it out. Like people told me when I first started, your first 100 videos will be shit. We're up to 160 videos and they're still shit. We don't even know how to end videos anymore because we're halfway talking and we